Hey everybody. So, a breakdown of the different aspects and areas of the land and how we can go about using each area and aspect specifically. Number one, community hangout and creative congregation center, a place for people to go, hopefully open 24 hours a day, and work on creative projects, talk, read, write, play board games, relax, pray, play music. This area will also have a computer lab and electric outlets for people, maybe a small library complete with comfy chairs and couches and whatever else we feel we could use and get a good need out of. So, I mean, again, this stuff is, things are obviously open to change, and it's not, the most specific or blueprint type text you might expect for some type of a legitimate project. But, I mean, it's a start, man. Like I said, this is the seed for a whole new fucking future for humanity. So a part of me really does not want it to have to look like the normal LLC type bullshit that goes into normal businesses. So number two, rehabilitation and healthy and healing center. A place where we can utilize all the senses of the human body and all the natural healing remedies of the universe. So smell therapy will be smell therapy will be used. Sight therapy will be used. Power of seeing different colors all the time and how they affect our moods. Taste therapy, also experimenting with different foods to more improved healing effects. Texture therapy, different materials have different surfaces and feeling associated with those specific materials. For instance, let's say we want to help someone become more manly, maybe experiment with them carrying a brick hour a day, and for a woman, maybe experiment with them holding flowers or something soft for an hour in a day and see what, if any, changes come to be. The architecture of this building needs to be of a serious concern, as this will be the building that people will potentially, with life-threatening, and sicknesses/disease will be housed, and so we need to make sure that the architecture is at the all-time high in terms of energy flow. No corners or sharp right angles, and a lot of spirals and circles/domes, as spirals and domes and circles are more electrically magnetic conductive to electricity than squares and corners are. Note, this facility may not be able to be entirely constructed the way I think God wants us to until we have an abundance of resources to spare, but if that is not an issue, then I would love to get this building built soon. Beds are not best for the body, and so a healthier but still comfortable alternative is a need, and the closer one sleeps to the ground, the more telluric energy one gets from the earth, which is a great way to recharge one's battery and rejuvenate. So a bedding system, that is still connected to the earth would most likely be very helpful. There are many more ways. There are many more little details and intricacies I have in mind for this particular building, but what I just shared should give one a pretty good idea. Excuse me again for my mistakes. If one wants to hear more, please just ask. Words on the work on rehabilitation and the study of epigenetics by Dr. Bruce Lipton. I've learned a lot from this man's studies, whom I found through another YouTuber online called Nature Boy, as I've gone into this stuff before, who is a spiritual teacher, who taught me a lot. Bruce's teachings are all about how our cells adapt to the environment they are around all the time. So wherever you are and whoever you're with, your cells are absorbing the information / energy all around you. This is a big deal because it means that our DNA can basically... Now, I'm still learning about this, but it's not that we change our DNA, but it's the way that we react to our DNA that can change. Our cells can react differently to our DNA based on where our cells are at. So hereditary diseases that previously we thought were for life are so they're still for life. They could still be inside of you. Your cells won't react to them the same way. So is what I'm learning, I think. In fact, they probably have been seen that way because sons and daughters are picking up on their own parents. So this is kind of stuff I need to edit out here. But all right, so physical stuff and there. So Dr. Bruce Lipton has been able to prove that this by conducting an experiment. Yeah. So this is the experiment, the cell observatory theory, which is 2 cells in 2 separate petri dishes, and the one variable thing that is different, is that one cell was observed by a human being and one was not. Interestingly enough, they found that when a human being observes a cell, they actually change the cell on a cellular level, and so we have found that our cells adapt and change according to the environment they are around. This knowledge is helpful because now we know that even by just relocating someone to a place with a more positive and tranquil setting and imagery and all that, we would be effectively giving them a good boost and good energy, which will make for good information exchange. The problem with hospitals is that they feel cold, and there is a lack of color, which can be uninspiring, and sometimes the people helping us are not in the best of mood. And also the equipment, the materials that goes into the building, the corners, all of that is not electromagnetically conductive to the best of its ability. So it's not going to be able to heal the human body, because the human body is an electromagnetically conductive machine. So if you have an electromagnetically conductive machine, it would make sense, if you're really trying to heal that machine, to put it in the best environment for the best conducitivity of electromagnetic energy. Sorry if I'm getting a little wordy here. Another important thing with the hospitals is that the equipment they use, okay, so the drugs they sell, I just want to know this, but most often come from exploitative companies which are driven by profit and actually health and wealth. That's very true. So all those drugs, all that shit you're putting in you, not only is it bad for your body and it's going to clog you up and keep you away from healing as well as you could, but it's also just came from a nefarious place. So it's going to have that nefarious energy associated with it. This is a problem when a hospital is the place you go to seek better health and achieve a well-being. Doctors in the medical industry here in America spend only 6 weeks on a class for nutrition. The rest of the majority of their studies has to do with modern medical techniques, diagnosis, surgical procedures, and the drugs that are promoted by the pharmaceutical companies, which is sad because there are many different superfoods out there, one being hemp, and they have the potential to heal people of any sickness and cancer, but doctors aren't taught about this. They are told to prescribe drugs and perform procedures, which oftentimes end in untimely deaths and more misfortune and misery. So we are going to change all this. We're going to change all this, in this rehabilitation/healing center is part of the start. Whew, that was a lot. So I think I'll make another video for number 3. All right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.